Do we call them the Jakpa Generation or Joseph Generation? What do they have in common? The Joseph Generation typically speaks of those forced from their homes to a foreign land, or those whose storehouses are full in a time of economic famine, such as the one we are witnessing right now. One doesn't need to be prophetic to see that the world economy is experiencing a serious financial downturn or crash. We are already facing tough times, and this has caused increased migration all over the world as people search for greener pastures. This is what Nigerians call Japa, a term that signifies running away. Joseph didn't run away from home though. He was forced into slavery. Some will argue that those who have Jakpa from Nigeria were forced to leave due to the unbearable economic hardship and insecurity being experienced here. In the Old Testament, we see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being forced to relocate at different times during times of famine. So many say it's part of God's plan for us to abandon sheep in times of trouble. But what we mostly forget is that there was always a word from God saying, "Arise, go up," or "go not down into." Let's look at the case of Isaac in Genesis 26. And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went into Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, "Go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed." So you see God saying to Isaac, don't go down to Egypt, dwell in the land which I, God, shall tell you of. So this was not a case of my neighbor has gone to Canada, I will also go to Canada. My colleague at work has just got his student visa to the UK, he doesn't have two heads, I will also join him there. This was not a case of follow Japa. There was always a word from God, and as the word came, God always told them how he would bless them in the foreign land. In the case of Abraham in Genesis 12, God said to him, "Get thee out of your country and from your people and go to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and you shall be a blessing." Again, the movement was based on God's say so. One minute we see God saying to one person, "Go down into Egypt," and next minute he will say to another person, "Get up out of Egypt." Please, my people who are called followers of Christ, at whose command have you Jakpad? We can see that Japa has been there since the days of old, but it was not a follow Japa. They heard from God and acted, and God blessed them in their obedience. Are you not shocked to see pictures of Nigerians sleeping on the streets of foreign lands? These are people who have left their country seemingly for a better place. They sold their businesses, quit their jobs, left family and friends to a place called Obodo Oyibo, the white man's land. And then upon getting there, they saw the streets were not paved with gold as they were told. They saw that they also had poor people there. They saw that the economy was also tough there, and they wept as they saw that in this foreign land, you're on your own. The funniest thing about some of those who have Jakpad is that they won't leave Nigeria alone. They run down everything in Nigeria day and night on social media, even though they no longer live here. Which one concern Agbero with overload? Focus on your focus and leave those who have decided to stay here in peace. Some of us have said this ship won't sink. We have said we will fight to make this place work. We have our investments and means of livelihood in this land that you want to pull down with your keyboard from a foreign land. That's wrong. Don't you have work to do? This Jakpa generation say they want money at any cost, but once the price is excellence, then they walk away. Everyone wants money, but nobody wants to be excellent. mediocre won't cut it anymore. This is a season that requires excellence for you to excel. I heard the late Papa Idahosa say Christians serve a big God, but they don't believe in big things. They are mediocre. They are the first to faint at the first sign of trouble. They fear giants the most. They are the first to Japa and they call it plan B. God is not a God of plan B. He has only one plan, and it's a master plan. His master plan is like a puzzle to us. It's easy for fear and confusion to set in when all you can see is one piece of the puzzle. God sees the whole picture, and it is beautiful. Only through faith can you see the beautiful picture for your life that God sees. Do you know that God prospered Joseph in prison? In prison, he prospered. He had no business, no side hustle, no job, and he was in prison in a foreign land, and yet God prospered him. If God can prosper a man in prison, how much more you? God is not partial. Look around you. If he has done it for someone, he can also do it for you. But this doesn't mean you have to copy what you don't know. This doesn't mean you have to send your kids to school in a foreign land because your neighbor's kids are schooling overseas. Do you know if you're on scholarship, you bring high blood pressure upon yourself because I want better past my neighbor. I'm also tired of hearing Tinubu day and night. What is your business with Tinubu? The Bible didn't say Tinubu shall supply all your needs. Is that what your Bible says? My Bible clearly states that God shall supply all my needs. If you can start looking up to God and not Tinubu or his government, then you'll see the difference in your life. Government this, government that. Gosh, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. Get that, guys? This is the government I rely on, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. That's what my Bible says. In famine, in crisis, in tribulation, in inflation, in insecurity, in unemployment, in collapsed naira, in anything you can think of the increase of God's government and peace, there shall be no end. This is what my Bible tells me, and I believe it. Now to the Jakpa generation, let me tell you a secret. You see all those times God moved Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. God didn't relocate them to foreign lands so they could be blessed there. He relocated them to foreign lands so the foreigners could be blessed. The blessing was in them because they obeyed God. Child of God, the blessing is in you. The land upon which you stand is blessed because of you. I am blessed. God bless you all.